All right, welcome back to the Elias Macko Show in the third hour of this program for a Friday. So we've got 1 hour left in this week, and let me tell you something. It's an action-packed hour. I am hearing from our resident botanists that listen to the program. They're telling me all about the tree that I have parked my car under. I'm also hearing about those of you with a criminal justice take, and I'll have some time for those subjects just after the 11:30 news. But to start off this hour, we have to talk about this subject. Across Quebec, immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers are being targeted by fake lawyers and fake immigration consultants. They're losing thousands of dollars, and in some cases, their only chance at becoming citizens, to scams that promise to help but deliver nothing. Seems to be a growing crisis. Let's talk a little bit more about this with Patrice Brunet, immigration lawyer, who's come on down to our studios this morning. Patrice, welcome back to our studios. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, good morning.
What are you seeing? I mean, are there people that are coming to you after they've been duped by someone else?
Yeah, they do. They're embarrassed, and we try to fix it because sometimes they've fallen out of status. The person is either, they haven't provided the right advice, and sometimes the deadline is passed. So we need to fix it, and it's really, really unfortunate.
So I want to get to what's happening to these people, because in my mind there could be someone that's just an outright scam. They want money up front. They take the money and then they're gone forever. Or is it just people? They're well-meaning. They don't have the qualifications. They're well-meaning, and they get some cash. So what do you think's happening?
Yeah, there's a
here?
variety. Some of them are just out there for a money grab, and then they disappear. Mm-hmm. So that you have to be really careful about that. Sometimes they're referred by friends, family in the community. And that's tough because, the trust is there. If a friend refers to you someone, chances are you're gonna trust them. At the end of the day in immigration, it really comes down to two types of individuals who can represent or provide advice, either lawyers or notaries in Quebec, or regulated immigration consultants. That's it. So whenever someone is approached by someone who says, I'm going to help you and pay me some money, ask him for his name, go on the website of the Barreau du Québec and verify the credentials if the person is there on the Barreau, because some of those will also say that they're lawyers and they're not. Yeah. And that's an infraction. That's the Barreau du Québec can go after them. And that's illegal, of course. So it's the information out there is publicly available. Check out the name, check out the address and the phone number, and just verify that. Same thing for the regulated consultants.
And there's a couple of ways I want to take this one. First, do people that are providing these services, quote unquote services, do authorities ever go after them?
Yeah.
Are there consequences?
They do, and there's a history of that. Now, they will allocate the resources towards those who have volume. Mm-hmm. So if they're only doing it for a few people, of course, they could always be accused, but the resources will be channeled mostly at those that have really made a business of it.
Gotcha. And then on the victims, I imagine these are people that may not have the greatest language skills, like English or French. It's probably not their first language. That could be a possibility here. And you've got vulnerable people that are desperate. So let's talk about the people that are getting the victims here.
Yeah. So some of them have been out of status for years, and they've been offered promises that they're going to recover their status. And of course that's possible. There's humanitarian applications that we can file as lawyers, but those are very comprehensive applications. When you say
out of status, I just want to get to that. So this is someone who came to Canada, maybe on a visa, as a tourist, some way, and then they just decide to stay,
right,
and work under the table, live under the table. Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, they may not work under the table. That's illegal. They may, but life happens. They may fall in love. They may be in a conjugal relationship, have kids, and they just go around in a circle. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to talk to. And then, boom, they meet this person in a bar, in a restaurant, and they say, well, I can help you. So they got to check. Even though they're in a vulnerable position, they still need to check. And often what we see, and that's really sad, they get scammed out of thousands of dollars, and they can't complain because they're out of status. They think, they feel that if they go to the police or they make a complaint, of course they're going to be out in the sunlight and they'll be deported. So it's just a very uncomfortable issue. If they speak to a lawyer has a professional duty not to disclose information. So that's where they're protected. I can't, if someone comes to me and says I'm illegal in Canada, I can't go to the police and disclose that information. That's a breach of professional duty.
Geez, okay.
So you're protected if you come to see a lawyer. If you go see a regulated consultant, unfortunately, you don't have that same protection under the law. If the RCMP raids their office, everything is open to be disclosed.
I have to ask you what you're seeing when it comes to illegal, irregular. I don't know what the term is, and everyone says you shouldn't use this term, use that. But what I'm talking about is, we had Roxham Road before that was closed. Now I'm hearing that the Lacal border crossing, we're seeing a lot of activity from the U.S. into Canada. But overall, across Canada, the numbers are down year over year, right? But there's thoughts, Donald Trump has changed things. A lot of people are going to come to Canada. What are you seeing?
We're seeing it. I mean, the numbers vary from month to month, and especially with the new policies of Trump, that he's targeting nationals from specific countries, Venezuela, for example, or Haiti, and he's threatening to deport them. He's actually deporting them. One thing to remember is that if there's a family in Haiti or an individual in Haiti who has family in Canada, and they have a legitimate refugee claim, they can do it at the border if they have family in Canada. So that's why we're seeing some numbers of people who have been in the U.S. For years, may have we know how things are not going well in Haiti. They can have a legitimate claim, come to the border in Canada, and ask for their asylum claim to be processed in Canada if they have family in Canada. Otherwise, they'll be turned back because of the agreement we have in the U.S.
Would you say there are like some people are unaware of those laws and rules, and they end up doing something stupid or what they don't have to do? When they could actually show up at the border.
They're not properly advised. Again, they have to get the proper advice. Some of the community groups provide okay advice, but it's not legal advice. And we've seen advice that was that wasn't very good, and that's put those people in difficult situations. Before I have
to let you go, is there anything other aspect here that we should be talking about that we've missed so far?
The whole issue of those phantom consultants, or like I said, you have to check on the internet. It's really very readily available. But the extent of the law, or the arm of the law, that it doesn't extend beyond the borders. So we have to be very careful. If the consultant is outside of Canada, in Africa, in Europe, or even in the U.S., there's virtually nothing that the government can do. They can't shut the website down. They can't go after them. So you're really left on your own. So
I've seen it's like being done through Instagram and TikTok and advertising on those platforms too, right?
You have to be very careful. If you see that, or even on Telegram, if you see that, just take a step back, go check the website, and call the Barreau du Québec. They have a referral service. And just make sure that you're speaking to the right person.
Patrice, thank you so much for coming in. I'll direct people, you got a TikTok as well to fight the bad stuff on TikTok. We got your TikTok too,
I do.
Right? So Patrice Brunet, we can search you up there.
That's right.
Okay, thanks so much. That's Patrice Brunet, immigration lawyer.